Okay, so Stu, yesterday we got the news that those evil magic boxes make up the heartbeat sound because there is no heart in that baby.
You're saying from Dr. Stacey Abrams?
Yes, Dr. Stacey. You're not mocking her, are you?
No.
Okay, good.
I called her that.
Because things have changed since we last spoke. Planned Parenthood has stealth edited its language about fetal development, asserting that there is no heartbeat between weeks 5 and 6. Now, this is a change that they made and was noticed yesterday after Stacey Abrams. It calls now, as of July 25th, Planned Parenthood said that between the 5th and the 6th weeks of gestation, a very basic beating heart and circulatory system develop. Okay. Now, they claim that at 5 to 6 weeks, a part of the embryo starts to show some cardiac activity. Now,
which part of the embryo would that be?
The heart part. But,
okay.
Yeah, but it's not a heartbeat. It's cardiac activity.
Mm-hmm.
And, quote, it sounds like a heartbeat on an ultrasound, but it's not because it's not a fully formed heart.
What's the definition of cardiac?
Cardiac. Chest. I think that means chest cavity.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Because what I see here is relating to the heart.
Yeah, well.
But
okay.
it's just cardiac
All right,
activity.
stop the hate,
it's
Monster. Monster, stop the hate. Okay, I just want to quote something completely unrelated from 1984. Just listen to this. Quote, every record has been destroyed or falsified. Every book has been rewritten. Every picture has been repainted. Every statue and street and building has been renamed. Every date has been altered. And that process is continuing day by day and minute by minute. History has stopped. Nothing exists except an endless present in which the party is always right. End quote. I don't know why I brought that up. By the way, I'm reading another book, and it's out today. Check it out. Check it out. Do you think that'd catch on if we said that every time? You know, like, hey, Blaze TV, you can get your subscription. You can get a discount by going to blazetv.com/Glenn or Beck. Check it out. Write that down.
Write it down.
Yeah, I could see T-shirts being sold by the millions. All right. So there's this book called The New Puritans, How the Religion of Social Justice Captured the Western World. Okay, it's written by Andrew Doyle. He's from Great Britain, so there's one section in here that I think is just fantastic. That just remember, this is Great Britain, but all the same stuff is happening here. Okay, he says perhaps a little thought experiment will help us see what really is at stake. 10 years ago, could anyone have imagined that in a decade's time, the British police would be routinely investigating citizens for non-crime hate crime? Non-crime hate crime. What the hell is that? Well, it's just an update. There is no past. It's just a never-ending present. Non-crime hate crime. That makes total sense. That is a hate crime that feels like a hate crime but isn't a hate crime. So they can't arrest you because you haven't done anything, but police come to your door to investigate you because you made somebody feel bad with words. Okay? That's happening. Would you have thought that was even possible, or was that a joke? How about this? Senior members of the UK government are arguing in favor of laws now to criminalize professional comedians for jokes. Activists would be demanding statues of Winston Churchill, Mahatma Gandhi, and even abolitionists should be torn down. Or that major corporations would be paying a fortune for speakers to come in and berate their staff for their white privilege, telling them that they should try to be less white. Would you have believed 10 years ago that one of the most prestigious schools in London would be segregating its pupils by skin color? Or that a school district in Canada would be burning thousands of books because the contents are offensive to modern sensibilities? And as if that's not enough, that they would refer to this event as, quote, a flame purification ceremony. Would you believe that 10 years ago? Because it's happening now. 10 years ago, would you have even possibly conceived that in 2022, politicians and judges would be stumbling and stuttering when asked, can you define a woman? And that they would be unable to answer the question, or that woman would become a dirty word, that mom would be a dirty word, and that companies, charities, media outlets, even some factions of our health department and our hospitals would be favoring phrases like menstruators, people who bleed, and individuals with a cervix. Or that a man would be nominated for Woman of the Year. Or that male rapists would be identifying as female and then moved into a women's prison where they can rape all they want. Or that gay children would be encouraged to think that they were in the wrong body. Or that straight children would be told the same. And without parental permission, that they would be encouraged to be fast-tracked into sterilization. Or that the head of the LGBT rights charity in England, Stonewall, would be calling lesbians who don't want to include men in their dating pool sexual racists and comparing them to anti-Semites. The LGBT rights community, the lesbian, that group is calling the lesbians bigots for not wanting to date a guy. Or that reputable medical journals and hospitals and even medical schools would be denying biological reality, claiming that sex isn't binary at all. Or that a woman would be fired from her job and subjected to threats of death and rape just for saying that biological sex is real. Would you have believed those? Now, let me ask you this. That's happening over there, but all those things are happening here too. Well, the hate crime, non-hate crime. I mean, that's just. Whew. Let me ask you this. 10 years ago, if I said that a FBI veteran, SWAT team guy, one of the elites of the FBI, would be fired because he refused to be a part of what he said was politicized and an excessive raid, that it was not following FBI and agency policy, and it was trampling American citizens' rights. And there were 20 other people that were saying the same thing in the FBI, and that nobody would say anything if they were all fired. That's what happened yesterday. Special Agent Steve Friend. He didn't tamper with evidence. He didn't try to kill a national security advisor or anything else. He was just standing up for the Constitution, and they fired him yesterday. How about this one? If I told you 10 years ago that Venezuela would be emptying their prisons and sending them through Mexico, all the prisoners, to cross into our country. If I told you that 10 years ago, you'd be like, well, maybe. But then I followed it with, and our government wouldn't be doing a damn thing about it. Would you have believed it? Would you have believed that we hired Chinese people, Chinese as in like China, passport China, to go work in a section of Los Alamos to design nuclear weapons. And then we let them leave and go home when they want to go home to China with all of our information. Would you believe that? Because that happened yesterday as well. How about this one? Would you have believed 10 years ago that the House Homeland Chairman asked the DHS and DOJ to investigate, right, Venezuela? No. The flights from Florida to Martha's Vineyard. Yeah, that's what they're working on. How about this one? Love this. 10 years ago. Ask your friends this. Ask your friends. Hey, pedophilia, right? It's just a choice. We don't need to judge those people, right? Okay? There isn't anyone I know that says, hey, these child molesters, child rapists, people who prey on our children. You know, I really feel for them, and I think we should just accept them because sometimes the kids want it. No. Guess who's not coming to your birthday party? Me. Okay? Guess who's never having you or anyone you like around my children? Me. Okay. Gay rights, a gay rights group, Gays Against Groomers, have been kicked off of the system PayPal, so they can't raise any money or sell any product or anything else. Gays Against Groomers been kicked off. You know who's on PayPal and not kicked off? Protasia. That's a pedophile advocacy group. So the pedophiles can sell their T-shirts promoting pedophilia, and the gay group that says, hey, that's a real problem. I don't think they've been kicked off and silenced. Would you have seen that 10 years ago? How about this one? This happened yesterday, too. San Francisco just passed a surveillance plan that allows police to have access to private cameras without a warrant. How about this one? The Manhattan DA that kind of got a surprise yesterday. He gave this guy, look, he's 25 years old. He was out one night and she was walking across the street. Sure, she was 16 years old, but she wanted it. And so he raped her. And the DA was like, hey, don't do that again. Will you promise me that? Okay, I won't do that again. So they let him go. And yesterday, shock of all shocks, he's raped 5 more people. And really nobody's upset with that and probably not going to be covered in the mainstream media. 10 years ago, do you think it would have been? 2 or 3 days ago, we found out about a story where a guy, 45, 41 years old, gets into his car after an argument with a teenager, and he starts to follow him. And he eventually runs him down and kills him and doesn't understand what he did wrong because he was an extremist MAGA Republican. 2 days after that, Joe Biden goes on television and again says, good Americans have got to fight back against these extremist MAGA Republicans. Would you have believed that? I would say no. I wouldn't have believed those things. And I still stand and say, nope, all of those things are wrong. Shouldn't be happening in America. Have you changed? Have your friends changed? Ask them that. Because if you are excusing any of this stuff, you're going over the cliff. All you have to do right now is just stand where you've always stood. Yeah, the pedophilia thing. No, not going to give you that. That's the only thing you have to do. Just stand and politely say, nope, not going there.